host, Saul Espinoza, with a special guest, Joshua Espinoza, who prefers being called Joshua. So I'm going to be calling him Joshua throughout the whole podcast. And today we got some questions, so let's get into it. Question number 1. Where did KOGE come from? Wait, let me answer this. Okay. KOGE came from a land far away. I'm just kidding. KOGE, well, me and my brothers, actually, but he wasn't there. It was just my 2 older brothers, David, who came out in the last episode, and my oldest brother, Anthony. We were just trying to come up with a name for a podcast because we were wanting to make a podcast, which originally was going to be 3 of us, me and my 2 older brothers, but they bailed. And so my oldest brother came up with the name KOGE for knowledge of good and evil, and he had like an idea of a smoothie blender or something like that. So then I just came up with this cool idea, logo, and yeah, I thought it would be more interesting if I had a co-host, so I brought in my brother Joshua. Maybe he might be a co-host. Just for today, he's just a special guest.
Okay, moving on to
question number 2. Will you ever collaborate with Monty and Anselm's podcast, The VMPC Show?
Well, I mean, they aren't doing podcasts right now, but if they do reach out to us, and
if they do continue, then we'll be glad.
Yeah.
To join in on their podcast. But I mean, I don't think they haven't really been doing episodes lately. They've been a bit busy, but yeah, if they reach out to us, we'll do it.
Okay. Me? I like epic music.
Well, yeah, but genre is like a specific. There's names to the genre. It's not epic. Or maybe there is, but I don't know.
I think there is.
Okay, well, you like and pop music.
I only like one pop song. So
no, but almost all the ones you listen to are pop.
Really?
Yeah.
Even Outer Wilds?
I don't know what that is, but I'm pretty sure. You like those kind of music. You like the kind of music that's like
calm.
That's more calm, but like a little bit of energy, a little bit lively. Yeah. I don't know if you can mix those two.
Like banjo.
Together. It's calm and
like
energy.
It's actually a video game.
A banjo isn't pop.
I see. That's what I told you.
Okay. So you like. Okay, so you have several then.
Yeah, several.
You like pop, and
country
/ bluegrass, and epic music, like you said. Okay, now with me, I like country music, but the old country music, like the Johnny Cash music, and
the
I
new
like
one doesn't sound very good.
The new ones are like, I don't know, they just sound really weird to me, so I don't listen to those. Actually, I like Gregorian chant, so yeah, I recommend Gregorian chant to listen. I haven't been listening to it too much, only like if I have to, prepare for a talk or something like that, or reflection. But yeah, but lately I've been listening to rock. It's pretty awesome.
Your favorite song is like
Fortunate. Oh, actually, I don't know.
Soldiers.
Fortunate Son. I don't know what genre that is.
But there's another song he likes that
wait.
It's rock, but it sends a really good message, like Soldiers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you should listen to it. It's Soldiers by Otherwise, and
I don't know if Otherwise does any bad songs, so if they do, that's not on me. So yeah, lately I've been listening to more rock. I never would listen to it that much before, but anyway,
I don't listen to much rock. I mean,
I only just recently. Anyways, especially when I'm like do a workout or something, it's awesome. Okay, now this one requires a little bit of more thought. Can you explain the Crusades / Inquisition to people who think that it was a mass genocide? Well, first of all, let me explain what the Inquisitions were made for. The Inquisitions were made to abolish heresy. They're all people. So if they found out that somebody was practicing, for example, witchcraft, they would take them to the Inquisition. They would inquire. That's what's called Inquisition. They would question them. and if they wouldn't repent or they wouldn't do anything, they would be given a punishment, usually by the state. So the state would take over from there. But the Inquisition was created by the state. Like, they just got a group of clergy members together to form, and it was actually very similar to the court we have nowadays. The people who were being inquired actually had a lawyer as well, and only the state would issue executions, not the church. And also, if they were given a punishment that was not like the death penalty or anything like that, the Inquisition were only allowed to give them a little bit of punishment, not too much. It was moderated. They weren't allowed to cut any body parts or anything like that. The punishments had to be just enough so that they would be able to work the next day if they had to, because they have families and all all of that. So it wasn't unjust to me. The Inquisition was not unjust, and it's not a mass genocide like people say. People say 300,000 or millions people were executed by the Inquisition, but no. Studies have actually found, recently by researchers, that it was only out of 125,000 people who were tried. Only 125,000 people were tried in Spain, and out of those 125,000 people, only 1,250 were executed. See? And in Mexico, they had the Inquisition as well, because when they were bringing people to this land, they would only allow Catholics because the Protestant Revolution was happening around that time. They didn't want any heretics or any other religion, people of religion to come. But the thing is that people would pretend they would just get baptized, but they didn't really believe. Yeah. And then they would teach the heresies here. And in Mexico, only 50 people were executed. I don't know how many people were tried. I didn't research that, but people try to exaggerate it just because some clergy were involved with it. Yeah. The clergy was the Inquisition, but all the executions were done by the state. So, yeah, people try to exaggerate it just to give a bad reputation to the church.
Mm-hmm. The Crusaders. The Crusades, I read about the Crusades recently. The Crusades were to take back the Holy Land from the Muslims, because the Muslims had taken things like the place where Jesus was born, and
important artifacts or important places in the history of the church. And they were also invading many places. Yes. And they were trying to invade the whole, gather as much territory as they possibly could. And that's why the Pope, I don't know which Pope.
He got
he called for a crusade.
A crusade, and he blessed them all, and they went on their way.
And here's the thing: the mission was to drive out the Muslims and to regain their land and to defend all the Christians and just anybody that was being invaded by the Muslims. And in any just war, it's always about defending others and to, defend your land. And obviously, as in any other army, there's always bad people. Yeah. There's always going to be a bad soldier out there who's going to be, doing bad things. And just because, and it wasn't the majority, it was just a select few who were, doing those bad things.
And it's not just armies. It's like anything. Like, okay.
There's always a Judas in a group.
Yeah. There's always. There's always
going to be bad people. Yeah. No matter what. Well, yeah, in any earthly institution or anything, there's always going to be bad people in it. Yeah. Like, no matter what. So yeah, but people, again, they try to, just try to give a bad reputation to the church by saying it was huge, and there were so many bad people raping and killing and, pillaging villages and all that. But it was just, if there was soldiers doing that, it was just a few, and that wasn't the mission of the Crusades. Yeah. So, next question. Did you make that KOGE intro in episode 1 by yourself, or did you hire someone? And if so, what program do you/they use, and will you make more? Yeah, I made that KOGE animation. I've done a few animations, and I want to make more animations, probably with this guy. He's very good at animations. And I mean, I do animations. I'm gonna make some animations and post them. Yeah, my plan in the future, I want to do some continue this podcast. I'm making shirts. So, KOGE shirts, go to KOGE Fruit Juice Instagram. I'm going to open a shop soon. Go follow. And also, what I want to do also is make comics and, shows for Catholics. Because, honestly, there's a lot of Catholic shows out there for kids, but it's pretty lame. I mean, they're not very well funded. That's the reason. But I want to put all my time and effort into making good Catholic content, because there's really, really bad content out there in Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon and all that.
I mean, the old ones were really good and funny.
I mean, they weren't exactly good showing moral standards.
No.
But they were at least not showing bad things. Maybe dumb things. Anyways. So, yeah, we want to... I mean, I don't know if he wants to do it with me, but I want to make good shows, good Catholic shows for kids, teens, awesome, epic,
people of all
good
ages.
animations. Yeah. And...
That'll just about wrap it up.
What? No.
The question.
More. Oh, yeah. Wrap up that question. Okay. Number 6. Can the Pope be wrong? And if so, why is there the doctrine of infallibility?
Okay. Well, yes, the Pope can be wrong. Anyone can be wrong, really. The holiest of people can be wrong.
Here's the thing. To be more specific with the question, infallibility, that only... Because people think that the Pope, with the doctrine of infallibility, that means that the Pope is right in every little thing. But no, all that means is that when he speaks in ex cathedra, speaking to all Catholics everywhere, and as leader of all the Catholics, then and only then, does God give him the power to be right when he speaks in ex cathedra. But it's not very often that the Pope does that. So if a Pope speaks in an encyclical, or in an interview, or in a homily, or anything like that, he can be wrong.
Yeah.
But the thing is that, then, how can we even how can we know what's right and wrong? Well, that's why we have the Catechism of the Catholic Church, and we have the saints, and they have, all the teachings. If you read the Baltimore Catechism, go read it, order online, go read it, and form your conscience, because there's many bad, bishops and priests who are going to teach you the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And there are many good priests.
Yeah,
I don't want to ruin the reputation for all priests, because there are priests out there who are doing their best.
Yeah.
I
mean, they're not. There's not a lot, but there's some.
I think there's a lot of silent ones.
What do you mean silent?
Silent? They're silent. The thing is that, I don't want to ruin their reputation, because they're really trying their best. Like Father Altman, Father Heilman, Father Hollowell, and Father Dave Nix. Those guys, they're really trying their best, And for bishops, Bishop Athanasius Snyder, Archbishop Vigano, those guys are really, they're doing their best. I don't want to ruin their reputation, but there's always going to be bad people out there, like we said. And, this actually goes with the next question, which is, why should we stay in the Catholic Church if there's a lot of bad priests or scandals? And the Catholic Church doesn't revolve around one man or all the men of the Catholic Church. It revolves around Jesus Christ. Clear teachings in the Catechism and in the writings of the saints. So, those will not steer us wrong. So we just have to, believe. We have to pray for the Pope, pray for the priests. Okay?
And
there's always going to be bad people out there.
Yeah.
Like, with the 12 disciples, one of them was Judas Iscariot, who actually betrayed Jesus and
hung himself.
But still, I'm just saying that there's always going to be a Judas in anything. In the Catholic Church, we have to just focus on God. Focus on God and pray for our leaders, our church leaders. And that's what we've got to do. Don't lose faith. Fight the good fight. Be a saint.
Yeah.
Next question. Will David appear in another episode? If he wants to. If he has time.
Yeah, because he's really busy right now. He's working and he's
he just doesn't have time right now. But yeah, that's why I have Joshua here. He might be a co-host. I'm not sure if he sticks around long enough. But right now, he's just a special guest. Okay. Now, Oh yeah, just saying. Joshua's my brother.
Oh yeah, I have my other brother. We have
My younger brother.
We got some brothers.
Okay. What is the best martial arts in your opinion? You go first.
Okay. So in my opinion, I think the best one is probably Muay Thai and Jiu Jitsu. Cause
What kind?
What? Okay,
BJJ,
BJJ.
Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
Because there's other Jiu Jitsus, but they're different. So.
Because Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, it's not just about strength. Like it's mostly about grips and locks and stuff.
Yeah.
And Muay Thai is for, well, it's like kickboxing, but like a different form. And it's from Thailand. Muay Thai, that's the name.
And it was actually crafted during war.
Yeah, and the point of it
The
is
point of Muay Thai when it started, it was when the soldiers didn't have any weapons during war, and they had to be able to fight in war. And then the thing is that it started getting famous because the soldiers, they would spar among themselves, and it started getting more and more famous. And then the king of Thailand made a tournament or made a sport of it, you know, because it was very interesting, very fun to watch.
So if
okay, so that's yours, right?
Yeah, that's mine.
Okay, now mine, I'm gonna make a list. Now a lot of people think it's
right
very controversial, but I'm gonna make a list of the best martial arts. Okay, the first tier, right here, it's gonna be like 4. I think it's 5 martial arts. Okay. I'm gonna have a list. So, it's Muay Thai, Lethway. With Lethway is almost similar to Muay Thai. So, and Jiu Jitsu, boxing and wrestling. Those are the 5 top ones. Okay. And then the second tier is Taekwondo, Karate, and I don't remember. I think I've heard Kempo. Some places people like it, say it's good. So yeah, those are the second tier. The third tier, which is the worst martial arts, I'd say, in my opinion, won't really work that much in street fights, because that's what I'm basing it off of, is if it would work in real life to actually defend yourself. Which is why I do Muay Thai, to be able to defend myself. And also, it helps you become more manly. That's why I recommend, martial arts and exercise. It teaches you discipline. Helps you to do the things that are hard. Anyways, so the third tier is Kung Fu, Aikido, Tai Chi. There's another one.
Oh, what is it? Oh, Capoeira?
Capoeira. Those are like the worst ones that are not gonna... Maybe some people say that Capoeira can work, but it's a dance. It's not really...
It was because people were forbidden from using martial arts, so they tried to do it as if it was a dance.
Yeah, they tried to make a dance out of it so that people wouldn't... Because they still wanted to have that sport of martial arts, so they made... in Brazil, they made Capoeira.
Probably could have done better, but I guess that's what they came up with.
Well, anyways, yeah, that's my tier. So that's my list. Anyways.
And if you think the ones that are on the third tier are good, then it's good. Okay, yeah, you can...
But I don't recommend it.
But we recommend the ones in the first tier.
Yeah, because with those, you'll be able to defend yourself. You have the means to defend yourself. The other ones are mostly about just technique. But with this one, it's actually to teach you how to defend yourself. Especially jiu-jitsu. If you're small, you don't have a strong, buff build, then jiu-jitsu is the way to go. So that, especially if you're not as strong as other guys, it's like a superpower, jiu-jitsu. It you don't need to be super strong. I recommend you to still go lift weights or do exercise, but you don't need to be super strong to be able to beat up one of the toughest guys out there. Anyways, what video games do you guys play?
Okay, well, I play Minecraft and Among Us, but my favorite video game is Sonic Unleashed. I first got Sonic Unleashed for the PS2, and I like it better than the PS3. But, Sonic Unleashed is my favorite game.
So what kind of genre of video games would that be?
Well, so Sonic Unleashed is like a speedy action game. well, yeah, the point of it is to be speedy. I mean, I think the Warhawk stage are okay. They're alright, but I just think the day ones are better.
Okay, so action adventure game.
Action adventure.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and and Minecraft. I mean, Minecraft is more like a build explore game.
Yeah.
And
Okay. So the games I play are okay. Well, right now I've been playing, just like, barely started playing a little bit of Minecraft, and then I started playing Splitgate, Arena Warfare. I think that's what it's called. But I'm getting, it's not, to me, it's not that interesting to me, so I probably won't be playing it that much. But my favorite game of all time, well, actually, it's 3 games, but it's the Arkham series: Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. Those are that's the best game series I played. I mean, that I like. So I have 3 tiers of the. I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's my favorite game. I guess it's action and adventure as well. Yeah, but we have to try to limit ourselves with technology, because I know sometimes it go out of hand with playing video games. It's not the most masculine thing to do.
Yeah.
To play video games, it's, I guess you could say, a bit childish, but I mean, sometimes you gotta have some fun, but you gotta really, you gotta limit your time with technology, and
I mean,
there are more important things.
Although there are very few, there are some people I know who think that it's like that they shouldn't.
You mean like it's a sin?
Yeah, that's like a sin.
Yeah, okay.
Or
there's 2 extremes. There's the video game is a sin, and there's the extreme where it's like, just try to play as much video games as you can.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you gotta be. I mean, whatever. You don't need to play video games. For those who don't want to play video games, you don't need to play video games. It's good for you. You're not wasting your time. But like, for those who want to play video games, I mean, it's fine if you play video games, but you have to
limit yourself.
You have to have moderation, because it can lead to sin by laziness,
or the things you see in video games.
Yeah, there are a few video games out there, or a lot, that have impure material inside it. So you gotta be careful with which games you play. If you want to play video games, then you gotta have moderation, because it can lead to laziness, which is a sin. It can lead to disobedience if your parents tell you not to play anymore, but you still play. That's a sin. Or it can lead to it just influences you. Even if you're not sinning, it's gonna influence you to be more, have a different attitude on things.
But on the other extreme, sinning, gaming is not a sin
either. If you're telling people that gaming is a sin, that's just,
it's not a sin.
It's not true. So you got to be careful, because I know some people, like, especially traditional Catholics. I'm a traditional Catholic.
Me too.
We are. Sometimes go to the extreme. You cannot go to the extreme, because, one, you'll be, what's it called, sending listeners away, or people you're trying to help. You're gonna drive them away from you, because you're saying that everything is a sin.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: we could have fun. You can do whatever you want. You don't need to play video games, and
you don't need to.
You could play video games. Okay. Anyways, next question: does everybody go to heaven?
No.
No.
No. Nobody goes to. I'm kidding. But not everyone goes to heaven, and not everyone goes to hell. Like, there's a lot of people in hell, a lot of people in heaven, and I'm pretty sure there are lots of Catholics in hell.
Yeah, obviously we don't know who exactly went to hell. We do know who went to heaven by the saints who were canonized.
Yeah.
But what's it called? We don't know who exactly was in hell. We can presume some people are in hell, and like some of the worst, people in history. But we gotta understand that hell is real, and people go to it a lot. A lot of people go to it. That's why it's called the wide and easy path To go to hell is the
It's
path
very
is wide,
easy. It's super easy.
and that's why it's called the narrow path. The path to heaven is narrow. So, it's a dangerous way of thinking. Very
So-
dangerous.
I forgot what saint this was. I think it was Saint Rosalima. That she had a dream that there were people going on a path where it was just flowers and stuff, and there were other people going on a different path that had thorns and stuff that were hurting their feet.
Hmm.
But at the end of the path with flowers, that was like a huge inferno, like hell.
Hmm.
The path of thorns was heaven, a huge paradise.
Hmm.
You see? So when you go on the easy path, the path of flowers, that's hell. You go on the hard path, the difficult path. You get your reward at the end.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, again, I know I talk about exercise or whatever. That's always good to go to exercise because you're choosing the hard path, and it's, us humans, we're physical, we're mental, and we're spiritual.
Mhm.
We're not mental. That sounds like I'm calling us mental or whatever. But I mean, like, we're not only spiritual and we're not only physical, and
We're
we're not
both.
only about intellect. Just about learning more, because there's some people that go to the extreme again of only work. They just work out all the time, but they don't work. They don't pray,
Yeah.
and they don't read books or try to learn about their faith or anything. And then there's other people that go to extreme, only spiritual, and obviously it's good. God loves us to be with
Yeah.
Him as much as we can, but we're also physical beings.
Yeah.
We're not only spiritual beings. We have to put that physical flesh
So
to we got to put it to work to do hard things, and it will help us to do the spiritual things.
And there are
because praying is the hardest thing to do in the whole entire world. What I'm saying is, when you learn to choose the hard path, to wake up every day at 6 or 5 or 4:30 in the morning, that's a hard thing, and it helps you to become disciplined when it comes to spiritual stuff as well, or to reading, doing spiritual reading, or just learning about things. It helps you. Because, to pray every day is one of the hardest things, and exercise helps you get that discipline.
not only is disciplining yourself in the physical world gonna help you, it's gonna help you in the spiritual world.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna help you to be able to go through the spiritual things. That's why I'm a big advocate of exercise. Okay.
And I want to mention two dangerous theories about heaven and hell that you should.
Oh yeah, I
avoid.
forgot we were talking about
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Okay. So one theory is that everyone goes to heaven, and that's a very dangerous theory, which means that you don't have to do anything to go to heaven.
Yeah, that means that even a serial killer who's unrepentant of his sins is still gonna go to heaven.
Yeah.
That's a very dangerous way of thinking, because you could just do whatever
Yeah.
and still get away with it. No, God is all merciful and all justice.
Yeah.
All just,
you
I
can't,
mean.
you can't have mercy without justice.
Yeah. They both go
Hand in
hand
hand.
in hand. So, yeah, God's gonna have His justice on whoever was not repentant and whoever is in state of mortal sin. Obviously, I don't want people in hell.
No.
Nobody wants people in hell, but we know that there are people in hell, because even Our Lady of Fatima, when she showed the three
Kids.
kids the vision of hell, they saw people burning in hell. Why would they see people burning of hell? There's nobody in there.
Yeah.
It's horrible. And Our Lady of Fatima says that many people go there, many people will go there, and many people do go there, especially because of sins of impurity. And we just have to understand that hell does exist and people do go to it, and that heaven is hard. It's hard to get to.
Yeah.
It's the greatest and hardest good to get.
And the second theory I want to mention is the one from Martin Luther. I think it's Martin Luther. His theory was that God predestines people to go to heaven or hell. So that means that no matter what you do, you go to hell or you go to heaven, no matter what. So like he's saying that no matter what you do, you're done for. That's all he said.
You're done for, or go to heaven. But that's also the same thing. You could do whatever. Like, for the people who are predestined to go to heaven, supposedly,
And-
that no matter what they do, they're gonna go to heaven. And for the people that are predestined to hell, no matter what they do, they're gonna go to hell. Now I don't remember if that's actually from Martin Luther,
But
I'm you're probably right.
and another thing is that he said that people needed faith alone to be saved, which doesn't make any sense because he just says people God predestines people, so that's a contradiction. If that first phrase was from him, but
Yeah. Yeah, that is a contradiction. That's why I wasn't sure if it was from Martin Luther, but I think it was. Yeah, we need faith and works. They both go with each other. If you're doing works but no faith, then it's not gonna work. But if you're doing faith but no works, then
yeah,
because you have to show that you really care, that you really mean it, that you really believe.
they really love him.
Yeah, because love is an action.
Actions speak louder than words.
Well, yeah, but like, if you just say I love you, but you don't do anything, you don't really love him.
Yeah,
you don't really love God.
You just
And you're just they're being selfish. The world revolves around you. You don't really love God. So you got to really show God that you love Him by doing those actions of a virtue, of charity.
And I mean, okay. There are people who think they just have to not do bad things, but that's not all. Okay, don't do bad things. Okay,
because
don't do that.
I think what you're trying to say is that there are people who are like, how can I go to heaven? I never killed. I've never stolen.
Yeah.
I've never done this. I never done that. How can I go to hell? But you have to do the good things as well.
It's good that you didn't, but you gotta do good things.
Yeah. It's like the talents, the parable of the talents. There was 3 servants of a master. The master represented God, obviously, but the master was away on a trip. The first servant obtained 5 talents, which is just money in the old days, in biblical times, New Testament times, I mean. And the second servant obtained 2 talents. And the third received 1 talent. They all had talents, and they could all they received that so that when the master came back, they would make more money with the money that they were given. The first
obtained he doubled it.
He doubled it to 10. From 5 to 10. The second doubled it from 2 to 4.
2 to 4. And the first one,
the third one, you mean?
Third one.
He only obtained 1. He buried it in the ground and did nothing with it because he was afraid that the master wouldn't be. I don't know. He was afraid that he would either spend it or I don't know exactly what. But the thing is that the master, when he came back, he saw that the first servant had doubled his money to 10 talents.
And so
he said, "Good and faithful servant, you will come and share my goodness and love," or something like that.
So that's like heaven.
Yeah. And then the second one, the same thing happened. The third one, he went to him. He came back with 1 talent. He just, dug it up from the ground where he buried it. He brought it back. He had done nothing with his talent. He didn't do anything bad generally, but he didn't spend it.
Yeah,
but the thing is that he didn't do anything good with it.
Yeah.
God gives everybody special graces and even special actual talents to do what he wants us to do in life. We all have a purpose here on life. Nobody is here without a purpose.
Yeah. Amen.
Everybody has a purpose here. And we have to use the graces and the talents that God gives us to do that. We can't just say, "Oh, I haven't done anything bad, so I'm good, covered. I got my heaven insurance, so here it is." Okay. That was all the questions for today. Thank you for watching.
And if you want your questions answered,
please comment.
Comment down below on the video.
Yeah, ask questions for a future episode. Comment, like, and subscribe if you like this video. And thank you, Joshua, for joining us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here.